What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, cousins. However, this is your first time joining me on today. My name is Megan. Here we use information from celestial bodies to help us gain a better understanding of celebrities, world events, but most importantly, our damn selves. So hit the subscribe button to become a part of the family. Thumbs up this video to grow the channel. And hit the notification bell so that way you will be alerted whenever I come on here with a new post. Now, as you can see today, we are going to be talking about Iggy Azalea, okay? Igloo, Australia, Azalea. She is a rapper who fakes a black accent, but that's neither here nor there, okay? So she's been in the news recently because her baby daddy, Playboy Cardi, okay, which I didn't even know he was a straight man. I thought he was one of the girls. I didn't know he liked girls. You get what I'm saying? Basically, she blasted him for being a deadbeat. She said that the day she went into labor with their child, he went to go play games with Uzi Vert, okay, like video games. So there's that. And then now he's cheating on her, and he has been for quite some time, as well as just not spending time with their kid. Allegedly, he rather do other things. So I just wanted to take a look at her natal chart and to give a little bit more insight on why she tends to be in this situation. And I think it'll help explain a lot. So let's just go ahead and get started. So Iggy Azalea was born June 7th, 1990 in Sydney, Australia. Now that number 7 could deal with her being into music, but it could also deal with her being a model, which I don't know if she is officially a model, but she gives me model vibes. So there's that, right? Also, her sun is at the 16th degree of Gemini. She's a Sagittarius moon. But with her sun at that 16th degree, okay, that is a very challenging placement, especially if we're going to talk about in terms of men, okay, as well as children. And with her being a Leo South node, on top of that, this actually just spells out disaster for romantic relationships, as it can create a woman who attracts men who are not forthcoming with their identity. I would even say sexual identity. So especially in a sign like Gemini, with her sun being in Gemini, I'm not ruling out the possibility of her attracting queer men. But, you know, whatever. But just in general, right, these are women who can just attract very shady, very sneaky men. Infidelity could absolutely be an issue for a lot of Leo South Node women. And with her being a Gemini sun at that 16th degree, you know, these are women who attract men who it's almost impossible for them to just be with one woman completely, right? It's almost like they are constantly having their attention grabbed by other interests, not even just women. Like I said, I feel like it could be either or, to be honest. And on top of that, she has her Venus at the 8th degree of Taurus opposing her Pluto at the 15th degree of Scorpio. Another aspect that could deal with lots of infidelity within a relationship. But also, it could even suggest or point towards where if she's not careful, you know, this is an aspect to where a person could potentially even run the risk of having some STDs brought their way by way of a partner. And then when you take into account that Pluto is also squaring her Leo South node, that's an STD all day. So if I were her, I would be kind of careful, unless she already got it. Allegedly, you know, we'll never know, right? But that could also even just deal with her being in very toxic relationships with men. And also reaffirm a lot of the drama that she tends to go through in these relationships. In fact, it's not uncommon for women with this configuration to be in relationships with men where like the guy could have a whole nother baby on the side or something like that. Now, it's also worth mentioning with Iggy being both a Gemini sun and Leo South node, these are women who tend to go for very young and immature men who are very childish themselves, which is also very poignant given that this is the same man who skipped his child's birth to go play video games with another ninja. So, you know, there's that. And unfortunately for her, there could be some either custody battles, or I wouldn't even be surprised if any paternity battles ensued following their breakup, especially with that Venus in opposition to the Pluto in Scorpio. But even Pluto squaring her notes could definitely do that too. So y'all stay tuned. So if that ever hits the media, remember where you heard that first. There's a lot of trust issues within the relationship, but once again, rightfully so. Like I said, she attracts men who have a difficult time keeping their wieners in their pants. But yeah, specifically, even just with that Venus in opposition to Scorpio, right? That Pluto and Scorpio. Once the relationship is over, things can get really, really, really dicey, right? Especially if there's money involved, if there's children involved, and things like that. Then she also has that Venus, all right, at that 8th degree of Taurus, squaring her nodes as well. So that Venus squaring her south node, that Leo south node, could also result in custody disputes or child support disputes. It could also even deal with where either Playboy Cardi is in it for her money or vice versa. And to be honest, I'm not sure who's like the bigger artist or who has the most money out of the two of them, because as far as I'm concerned, she's a one-hit wonder, but she also does modeling, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe she has something else going on. Not really sure. I mean, I guess Playboy Cardi is a popular artist. Y'all can let me know in the comment section. I know somebody gonna correct me. I'm not too familiar with his work, but this aspect in and of itself, that Venus at the 8th degree of Taurus squaring her south node, could deal with where either one of them could literally be in this relationship either for the aesthetic, for the look, or for the money and the financial security that it provides. There could also be some potential issues with Iggy's self-esteem also, especially with that Venus at the 8th degree squaring her Aquarius north node. Iggy could also be one of those women who are gluttons for punishment, who feel like love is struggle, right? Where you have to really stick things out and ride things out with your man, which is probably why she stuck with him for as long as she did. This just seems like an all around pretty toxic relationship, you know. This also could even give me potentially abusive vibes, if not physically abusive, probably maybe even financially abusive, or just psychologically and emotionally abusive. And that could also be reinforced with that Pluto at the 15th degree of Scorpio squaring the nodes, in addition to Venus opposing Pluto. Then she has Mercury opposing Pluto, which could also be very like a really challenging aspect to have in terms of creating a person who can be very vindictive. In fact, this whole expose that she's doing right now with Playboy Cardi is definitely intentional. And it's not to say that he doesn't deserve it or that nothing as far as what she's saying isn't true, but you could tell that there's definitely some underlying motives as to why she came forward with this, right? Probably to humiliate him and put him on Front Street. You can even also look at that as that Pluto squaring her north node at that 10th degree of Aquarius, right? Utilizing social media to expose him. She also has her Mars at the 4th degree of Aries, squaring her Uranus at that 8th degree of Capricorn, which is a relationship where there is not a lot of passion. Okay, that could even deal with either him or her. I would say more so him based on what she described, being so occupied with work, and where there could just be this kind of dynamic between the two where just emotionally, you know, I don't get like PDA and I'm going to lay around and kiss you all day type of vibes, like romantic vibes. In fact, this actually further bolsters my theory that this man may not be all that into women, as once again, that Mars, 4th degree of Aries, that number 4 could also deal with queerness. Squaring Uranus, I mean, that could deal with the woman who attracts gay men. So can a lot of Aquarius North Nodes as well, too, especially with her North Node at the 10th degree of Aquarius, because that number 10 breaks down to 1, which also deals with men. So, I mean, she just has really bad taste in men. But most Leo South Node women do. You could also look at her sun at that 16th degree of Gemini as her constantly being in situations with men that result in disappointments. And now that I'm thinking about it, y'all, I feel like there could be some issues in regards to her being a mother as well, because if y'all go back to one of the what was one of the videos she did? I think it was like a live stream where she was like, yes, we had a baby that he wanted, kind of implying that she didn't want the baby. And now that I'm looking at her chart, she does have her Pluto once again squaring that Leo South Node, which can create resentment towards children. The fact that she has her sun at that 16th degree could also be a bad omen in terms of motherhood. And then her Jupiter is at the 14th degree of Cancer, but it's conjunct her Chiron. So, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't want the kid. Her sun is also forming a quincunx to Pluto. Her sun is quincunxing Neptune as well. So yeah, there could be a lot of like secret resentment that she could be harboring towards making the decision of being a mom in the first place. She might be kind of neglectful of the kid her damn self. With that sun quincunxing Neptune at that 13th degree of Capricorn, it's like, well, you're neglecting the kid, so I can't even work. Because she might not even be the type who wants to be a mom like that, y'all. But, you know, you could also look at this as her attracting men who are extremely neglectful. So I will give her that. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, another way to look at that Jupiter at the 14th degree of Cancer conjunct Chiron, especially with her moon opposing Mercury and her being a Sagittarius moon, you could look at that whole setup as her faking that black scent and her having issues either with her own race. I feel like she could have a problem identifying with her own race, but you can also look at this as her having a difficult time being accepted into outside races, which is true because over here at the Black Delegation Committee, we don't F with her, okay? Stay where you at, Miss Iggy. So this concludes my reading. I didn't want it to take all day, but, you know, I thought it was kind of interesting. So, yeah, y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this entire situation. What do you think about Iggy's chart? And, yeah, make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I holla.